Alright, so yesterday we talked about the fundamental counting principle, and a fundamental counting principle can be used when you can repeat, okay, and when you have groups of elements, okay. Now, permutation is a form of a fundamental counting principle, but it's a type of that, but it's when you don't repeat. Okay, so it's when you lose one, you use one, you lose one. That's a permutation. So if you can repeat, you cannot do the permutation formula. You just have to multiply the group numbers together. So permutation is arrangement objects where order is important. So when order matters is when you line something up, when you put something on a shelf. So when you make a list, it's just order matters, okay? Now there's a really long formula. It says that N permutate R. So N is your total and R is how many you're using. Now we're not going to use this formula. We're going to use Desmos because Desmos already has the formula plugged in. You just have to figure out what your N and your R is. So N is the total of what you have and R is what you're using. Sometimes you'll use all of N. Sometimes you won't use all of N, okay? So we're going to go to this example. So keyword for a permutation is when it says, when you're lining up, putting them in a row, when you put somebody in a row, you're lining them up, okay? So I want to line up AJ, Kevin, David, and Bill. So that's a total of 4 people I want to line up. So keep reading to see if you want to use all or some. It says, how many ways can we arrange all those boys? Well, those boys, which means all. So I have a total of 4 boys, and I'm permutating all 4, okay? So I'm going to go to Desmos, and it's right here. So to find permutation, you go to functions, you go to statistics, and it's going to be NPR. So we said it was 4, 4. Whoops. So there's 24 different ways we can arrange those boys. Okay? All right. So we said order was important here. So if I switch Kevin and David, then the arrangement's not the same anymore. It's another arrangement. Thus, order matters. Okay? So this one, it says, given 7 boys on a sports team, how many ways can we line up 4 in a row, side by side? So line up is your keyword for a permutation. So there's 7 total boys. That's your total. I'm choosing to use only 4. So this is going to be 7 P4. So we go to Desmos. You can use the same line, which we just need to change the first number to 7. So it's going to be 840 different ways. Okay? Alright, the next one is how many different area codes are possible if it cannot begin with 0. So an area code is like, it's the 3 digits in front of your phone number. So like ours is 252. Okay, so it's 3 digits. And if you notice, you can repeat numbers. So remember, you cannot do a permutation with can repeat. Can repeat has to be the fundamental where you say this many times, this many times, this many. Well, we also talked about digits, single digits. There are 10, okay? Now, there are 3 slots. The first one cannot be 0. So if I take one away, that means I only have 9 for the first one. But this one can be 0, and so can that one. So it brings back to the 10. So 9 times 10 times 10 is 900 different area codes. Okay? Alright, so let's do a few more. I'm going to go over here. Okay. So I want to get rid of that one. Alright, so we're going to do this one. It says, suppose your job at Aeropostale is to arrange the mannequins in ways that are appeasing to customers. If there are 5 mannequins to whom you need to fit into the window display, how many ways can you arrange them in a formation? Alright, so we're arranging them. Alright, and you cannot repeat. You place one mannequin, you can't put it in another slot in the same line. You've already used it. So we can do the permutation. Okay, so I have, and how you know it's a permutation is it tells you what's to arrange. Just line up, arrange the mannequins. So there are 5 mannequins, and I want to arrange them all. So it's going to be 5p5. And so when we go to Desmos, we're going to do 5, 5, so it's going to be 120 different ways she can line those mannequins up. Okay. All right, next is going to be dealing with the codes. Remember we talked about with codes, they can repeat, most of them, and so we're going to do the fundamental counting principle. Okay, so it says how many options are available if you're doing a 4-digit ID number. Okay, let me make this a little bit thicker. There we go. So this one says that they cannot repeat. So you can do a permutation, but when I'm doing ID numbers or code numbers, I like to do with the blanks. So it's a 4-digit ID number. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember digits? They are 10. So it says if they cannot repeat. So cannot means you use one, you lose one. So I start off with 10, then 9, then 8, then 7. You're going to multiply them together. So I'm going to say 10 times 9 times 8 times 7. And you get 5,040 different IDs. Okay. Now, the next one says they can repeat. So you have to do the fundamental counting principle. So if they can repeat, that means 10, 10, 10, and 10. So that's 10 with 4 zeros. Okay. Which is more beneficial? Well, you have more codes here when you can repeat. So if he has a bigger population of schools, you would want to where you can repeat. But if you have a smaller population, you can do the cannot repeat. So just depends on how big your school size is. But this one would benefit more because you have more options. Okay. All right, next one says, for a particular model of car, a dealer offers 3 sizes of engines, 2 types of steroids, 18 colors, and 7 upholstery colors. How many different possibilities are available for that model? So this doesn't talk about lining anything up, arranging anything. But if you notice, it's got its groups. You have your engine sizes, your type of stereo, your body color, your upholstery colors. Remember, those are groups, and you take the elements and you multiply them together. Right, you see the difference between a fundamental counting principle and then the permutation up top? It told you how many you had and how many you were using of that. This one just says, I have all 4 of these things, this many of each, find out. So we're going to say 3 times 2 times 18 times 7. You get 756 ways. Okay. Next one says, if a deli offers 12 different meats, 5 different cheeses, 6 different breads, how many different sandwiches can be made with 1 type of meat, 1 type of cheese, and 1 type of bread? Well, again, it's giving you groups. It's not telling you how many things to use, it's just giving you groups. So we're going to say 12 times 5 times 6. And you get 360 different sandwiches. Okay. So the next one says, how many ways can 8 actors be listed in an opening credit of a movie if the leading actor must be listed first? So you have to have the leading actor first, all right? Actually, we're not going to do this one. That's for the next lesson. All right, so last one. How many hockey teams of 6 players can be formed from 14 players out regarding to position played? So, well, this is next lesson also. All right, so we're done. Didn't edit the worksheet good enough. So that's it. If you have any more questions, let me know. I can do more examples. Go to Canvas to figure out what your assignment is for today. And again, email me with any problems. Bye, guys.